Good morning. Today on Spotlight, an important question every Michigan voter will face on Election Day 2026. Should the Mitten State hold a constitutional convention, affectionately known as a con-con? It will appear on your November ballot. So why should we be thinking about something that's almost 9 months away? Eric Lufer, president of the respected Citizens Research Council, will tell us. And later on our Sunday morning program, Lance Wheeler, Vice President of Learning and Engagement at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History, also called the Wright, will share how this cultural institution is celebrating Black History Month. It's Sunday, February the 15th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. There's going to be a question on the November ballot that may be the most important question voters have to face in terms of long-term impact. And that's whether or not we want a constitutional convention.
Yeah, that's really saying something at the same election where we're voting on a new governor and new U.S. senator and all new legislature.
And those are the things that will get the headlines, but your organization is trying to make sure that people focus on the policy and the nuts and bolts, because no matter who gets elected to what position, they're supposed to adhere to this Constitution.
These are the ground rules, right? So to the credit of our constitutional drafters many years ago, this predates our current Constitution, they put in a provision that every 16 years the question should appear on the ballot: shall we convene a constitutional convention for purpose of revision of the document? It's not putting government on autopilot. Let's just go forward and assume everything's great. We have the ability to amend the Constitution, but if you look at what those amendments are, they're really high-profile things. So this is a chance to open up the document and see what's working and what's not working. You're not bound to anything that's in there. You can start from whole scratch and start all over again. The only caveat is at the end of that process, if we choose to go down that route, they have to come back and sell it to the voters why their proposed new Constitution is better than the one we have. If we vote no in November, then we keep on doing what we're doing and there's the ability to amend it. If we vote yes, then we're going to have two elections in 2027, a primary in February, an election of delegates in June, and they would convene in October.
In Lansing.
In Lansing. We would elect one congressional delegate, or constitutional convention delegate, from every House district and one from every Senate district. So 148 convention delegates would convene in October of 2027. There's no limit on the amount of time they spend, but they're leaving their day jobs, they're spending time in Lansing away from their wife or husband and their kids and friends, right? This is gonna be a full-time job for some period of time. In 61, it took about 8 or 9 months to get that work done.
Just what I was going to ask you about, it's not a quick little 2-day convention process. This is a deliberative process that takes a considerable amount of time.
Right. We have 12 articles in our current Constitution that cover everything from the branches of government to schools to local government to taxation and finance and eminent domain and how we do elections and everything else. So there's a lot in there and a lot to consider, and things that could be in there, things you might want to take out.
There's a price tag. Talk about the price tag, potentially based upon 1963.
Yeah, without knowing how long it would take, right? We just talked about the idea it's open-ended, there's no time limit. We went back and looked at if the 61 Constitution were held today, they used that same amount of time, we'd estimate it would be $50 to $60 million. The legislature just met with the governor yesterday to introduce the new budget, and it's a pretty tight budget. So
it is, and we're going to talk
finding
about
$50 to $60 million is no easy task.
Yeah, and pretty soon we'll start talking real money. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I have a lot more questions about the possibility of a constitutional convention, better known as con-con. We'll be right back with Eric Lufer, president of the Citizens Research Council of Michigan, right after this. when I look at the last 3 times they've had to vote, the vote for opening it up for a new constitution has increased and the vote against has decreased. Now, they've decided we don't want to do that, but it's inching up each time. And given the political backdrop that we're in right now, there's what, maybe a better than 50-50 chance that people may say, it's time to redo our Constitution, review, revise, whatever.
You know, this is going to fly under the radar. I appreciate you having on the show. Let's talk about it and make people aware of it. And we're going to be putting papers out over the summer,
right,
trying to help people analyze what's going on with the Constitution. But in the context of your question, coming up at the gubernatorial election, we're going to have candidates, whether they're running for the legislature or the governor's office, saying the system's broken and only they can fix it. Mm-hmm. And we look at Washington, D.C. and journalists, others, you know, do we have a constitutional crisis? So it really, I think, raises awareness for people that these are the ground rules we agree to play in. And if the system's broken, does that mean the ground rules are broken and we need to go reestablish them? Or is it the players that are not playing by the rules? So that's, you know, for smart academics and others to try to figure that out. But it really raises the profile of this question to try to think about what exactly do we want from our state and local governments, and is this document, is our Constitution putting in place the mechanisms for us to get there?
Sure. Want to go back to something that you just briefly mentioned because it's so crucial to what you're doing here. People don't have to vote on this until November 3rd of 2026. We're in February, so people say, well, why are you talking about it now? We're talking about it now because people need to educate themselves, and that's exactly what the CRC is doing, and specifically tell folks how you're doing it and how they can get the information.
Right, so we plan to publish 15 papers. We published the first one this week on Tuesday, mm-hmm. But over the next, over the summer, all the way up until voters start getting their absentee ballot, if they choose to vote that way, we're going to put out a paper about every other week that provides history of our current Constitution, tells people how it's been amended and what are those amendments and where are the pressure points within our current document. And then we're going to walk through article by article in the Constitution to look at what's working and not working. If a convention were to be convened, what are the hot points that they might be focused on?
Eric Luther, you're going to do all these papers and have them out before absentee ballots go out.
That's right.
Correct. Why?
Education, right? We have a thing on our website from our founder many years ago that the right to criticize the government is an obligation to know what you're talking about. So we take it on ourselves to try to put out that information, to provide the tools so people can educate themselves and have a strong voice through the voting process, but have an educated voice when they show up and do their part in civic participation.
All of this will be on the CRC website. We're also going to make sure that it's on WXYZ.com. If you go to our website, we'll link you to your website and vice versa.
And on this question, we have no position on whether the document should be opened up and revised. We're just trying to provide that education. We are sort of policy geeks, you know, policy wonks that pay close attention to the Constitution. But I imagine there's 9 million other Michigan residents that would have to be reminded what the state constitution is and why it's important. So we're trying to do that education.
Couple quick final questions. You will, in October of this year, do a media roundtable about all the information that you've put out. Correct.
Yeah, we plan to do a webinar for the general audience, but important journalists like you try to give you guys a chance to dig into what we've written. We're going to make ourselves available and just pull it all together in one spot. So if you don't have time to read through 15 papers, maybe a webinar to recap it or news stories like you might provide here, hopefully will give people the chance to digest it and and inform themselves before they vote.
We haven't revised the Constitution since 1963 here in Michigan, but we have done several amendments to the Constitution. I think something like 89, or 80, tried to do 89
Tried to
different
do,
times,
yeah.
only like 39.
39 amendments, but many more attempts.
Right, okay. Quick final question. Governor just put out her budget, 88.1 billion, that's billion with a capital B. I would presume that the Citizens Research Council is got their eyeglasses out right now and looking over everything, and that there will be position papers and information analyzing and dissecting all of this, because that's a big chunk of change.
Again, we're going to dig into it, as you say. We plan a webinar on February 24th at noon. You can sign up for that on our website, crcmich.org. And again, we're not trying to say that she's proposing too big of a budget or too small, but really dig into it. Is the budget sustainable? Is it meeting the needs of the residents? How is it changing what we're doing now? Anything like that. So yeah, we're going to dig into that and provide that information as soon as we can humanly do it.
All right, and of course she has her last State of the State address coming up on the 25th. I'm sure she'll talk a little bit about that budget in there.
That's right.
Eric Lufer, thanks so much for coming in, and appreciate you doing this and giving the public all this information.
Always a pleasure to be here.
It's our pleasure. And when we come back, we'll be joined by Lance Wheeler, an executive at the Wright Museum, getting folks ready for Black History Month. We'll be right back. Stay with us. If somebody is saying, I really want to dip myself into Black history, or my children, and I want them exposed, regardless of what their color may be, there is no better place than the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. But whet their appetite. What can they see this month?
Yeah, let me first say that the museum, we're celebrating, well, across the country, we're celebrating 100 years of Black history. And so what we're doing in our programming at the museum is grounding that in every of our programming that we're having. Then also on the 15th, we're going to have a little gospel concert at the museum as well. And then we have a performance at the end of the month, right? And it's really looking at, it's called The Justice of the Blind. It's looking at racism, it's looking at mass incarceration, but in an art form. So you're going to hear poetry, spoken word, and all that.
What would, if someone said to you, what's the mission of the Wright Museum, what would you say?
Our mission is still the same 60 years. We've been here for 60 years. Dr. Wright.
And just had a major 60th anniversary celebration downtown.
We did.
Turned out terrific. Yeah.
And we're following the mission that Dr. Wright set in stone for us, right? Is to engage with people with African American history, right? That the American story is also the African American story, right? And so you're going to see that through our programs.
And you cannot separate the two. Oftentimes people say, oh, that's not part of America. It is American history.
It is American history.
It's an integral part of it, and you can't bury it as well.
No, you can't. And so really, that's our mission and vision, to really disperse, share the stories of the celebration and accomplishments of African Americans, but most importantly, also tell the story of Detroit, right? This is one of the blackest cities in the country. And in my opinion, you have to have Detroit in the middle of the conversation, right? America is not really operating without the city of Detroit. And so you see that in our history. You see that in our building.
Yeah, and that building has become iconic because it has become the village and sort of the home base for so many things. I mean, when famous people in the city, from Aretha Franklin to Judge Keefe to Rosa Parks, when they've passed, that's where they've lied in state. But you also have the brighter side of life and the parties, the celebrations, bountiful events. People want to take it to the right, one, because it's a beautiful edifice to be able to have it in, but also because you're surrounded by that history of this community and so many other communities.
Yes, and I think that's simply due to because we're in community, right? We recognize where we are, We recognize our role and a responsibility as an institution, and we're going to continue to do that, right? And so our doors are open for our African American community, but also it's open for all of our community members, right? We want to be part of the heartbeat of this city, and we're going to continue to do that. One of our current exhibitions that's tied to our 60th anniversary from last year, and we're going to really close with it in March, is called Luminosity. And it's looking at 60 Black Detroit artists, right? And it's really examining the impact of Black Detroit artists, both nationally, internationally, and what is that impact? And then we have a special exhibition looking at our founder, Charles Wright, Dr. Wright himself, and really looking at his humble beginnings into he opens the museum, right? It's a beautiful space. We as African Americans are fighting for our identity and fighting for our citizenship. So he understood, let me build a building that does that as well, right? Through our historical lens, right? That's collecting objects and collections from the continent of Africa. It is also collecting objects from our own backyard. So how do we tell a wider story of both the African American experience and the diaspora? And Dr. Wright understood the significance of that.
All right, we're going to take a quick little break. I want to come back and I want to pick up with something that you just said, and you talked about voting, and you have an exhibit that deals with voting, and we'll talk about how important that is. We'll be right back with Lance Wheeler right after this. You talked about voting. You have an upcoming exhibit.
Yes, we have an upcoming exhibit coming in September, so you're the first one to know.
Okay, all right, okay. We always like to be first.
Yes, and it's called Who Votes, and it's really looking at the Electoral College, right? Who has the right to vote in this country, but also what does it mean to be a citizen? And so that exhibition will be coming in September, and it's an in-house built exhibition from our team.
And how timely, I mean, right now we're talking about, whether or not voting is going to be nationalized or it stays with the states, and I mean, there's so much debate and controversy, and our elections fair and all of that stuff. But the history of this country is just dipped in voting and people protesting for the right to vote.
Yes, and the museum, with Neil Barclay at the helm of the museum, he wants us to be culturally responsive for what's happening, right? And so you see that in our public programs, you see that in our exhibitions, and so Who Votes is a cultural responsive what's happening in the country right now.
You've got some other, the permanent exhibits, Still We Rise, which is, if people have not been there, you owe it to yourself and your family to go there. Bring some tissues, but go there.
Yes.
Because there are those tear-jerking moments. But you have the tribute to federal judge Damon Keith, who of course was a legend in this state and in this country. And you may want to talk a little bit about that and why it was important to make that a permanent exhibit.
Yeah, we understood his significance, not just here, but nationally, right? And so we wanted to continue to find ways to honor individuals who created impact, right, in our country. And so that exhibition is really examining the man, but also the politician, right, and also the judge, right? And so we wanted to make sure that we had a space for him highlighted towards the end of our gallery, right? And so you come into that exhibition, but you also get to meet our former mayor, Coleman Young, in that space as well.
Right, very good. Stained glass. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is really a bonus to the museum as well. And what I say by that is you can walk into the museum and it's a free mini exhibition. We have these beautiful stained glass that is a snapshot of historical events, right? You're gonna see images of Malcolm X. You're gonna see images of the church. You're gonna see images of Dr. King in these stained glass, really art pieces, what I like to call them.
One of the things that I love best there is what your CEO, Neil Barclay, does, and it's conversations, the Wright conversations, playing off the word right. And that's something he's been doing, and I assume that's going to continue throughout this year, bringing prominent people to Detroit and then just having what we're doing, a conversation.
So Neil really understood the significance of really bringing individuals to the museum, right? Also local individuals, but we have names like as Dr. Imani Perry coming, who's from Harvard. We're gonna have future Stacey Abrams coming and be part of the Right Conversations.
From
Once
Atlanta.
again, the design of the Right Conversations to be culturally responsive was happening in the United States, right? From chefs, from cooks, from politicians, from artists. And so he's really built the right conversations to, once again, to be culturally responsive. Once again, the right conversations and the right performances are a way to be culturally responsive to what's going on.
People come from all over for your gift shop because you can find items there that are hard to find anywhere else, and many of them are unique to this city and into the Wright.
Yes, our gift shop has won Best Gift Shop of Detroit 3 years in a row. So let me take a moment and celebrate that. But you find books, you find clothing, customized clothing. We sell stickers, we have cookbooks, we have home products. And so our gift shop isn't just a gift shop, it is really an experience. Also, you can also purchase things online if you're not in the city of Detroit, if you want to look at our gift shop.
Tell folks just a little bit about yourself and what this city has meant to you so far, because you weren't born and raised there.
I was not born and raised here. I'm from Jersey City, New Jersey, and I moved to Detroit intentionally. I'm recognizing what's happening in this beautiful city, and I wanted to be part of it. And so I'm the Vice President of Learning and Engagement, and for me, it's an honor to actually be working at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. As someone who studied history, who has a museum studies degree, I already knew about the Wright before I came here. And it's one of the beautiful museums that we talk about, not just in the classroom, but also in the museum field. It is a pillar in our field. And so I have the honor and the privilege to work at it.
And I think that's one of the beauties now about some of the young people that we have coming to our city, is that they're coming from other places, but they're also bringing some of their insight and experiences from some of the other places. You're originally from New Jersey, but you've lived in Mississippi, you've lived in North Carolina, Atlanta,
yes,
other places. So you come in with a perspective, and sometimes that's healthy because their world isn't just Detroit. They weren't born, raised, and everything else here. And so they come in and they can say, hey, when they're at meetings internally and other things, and say, when I was in Atlanta, we did this, or somewhere else. And it brings a nice perspective.
I agree. And I think that's what makes America beautiful. I think that's what makes Detroit beautiful. It's a melting pot of people that I've come across, and I've loved this city, and I love the people here.
All right, and you're living in Corktown, so you're dipped right into the oldest neighborhood in the city.
Yes, I am.
That's it for today. Thanks to Eric Lufer and Lance Wheeler. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.